Jasper Thornton's corner office in Lagos glowed with late afternoon gold. A single cream and silver envelope lay on his walnut desk, its wax seal stamped with the crest of Maison Beaumont, the luxury brand whose board he'd been courting for months. Jasper pushed aside quarterly reports, lifted the envelope, and grinned. A black tie gala. Attendance strongly encouraged. Promotion season was coming, being seen at Beaumont's annual soiree was half the interview. He glanced at his phone. 2 unread messages from Amina. My love, will you be home early? I want to try that cassava soup recipe for you. Picked up your tux from the tailor. Hope it fits perfectly. Sweet, devoted Amina, still pronouncing tailor with a musical tilt, as though the AI were 2 playful vowels, tailor. Jasper felt a pang of embarrassment. Yes, her accent was charming in private, but not at an event crowded with francophone executives and European investors. He pictured their subtle smiles, the condescending nods, Colette's barely hidden smirk. No, better she stay home. He tapped out a reply. Late meeting tonight. Don't wait up. XO. Then he pocketed the invitation and swiveled his chair toward the skyline, already rehearsing talking points for the gala, sales growth, European rollouts, and zero mention of a wife who, in his mind, still sounded too village. 2 days later Jasper stood at the espresso bar telling Colette why he'd be flying solo. Amina hates crowds, he lied, adding a bashful shrug. She gets nervous, stumbles over her words. Colette's cerulean eyes sparkled. That's sweet, you're protecting her from scary soirees. She laughed, brushing cappuccino foam from her lip. Besides, now you're free to escort me, non? Across the office, 3 junior associates eavesdropped. Jasper lowered his voice, launching into a caricature of Amina's melodic Swahili lilted English. Jespa, de Gala es too fancy for me, I will stay home and cook. The group burst into cruel giggles. Jasper winked, enjoying their approval. In the elevator later, his colleague Farid shot him a disapproving glance. Careful, bro, mocking your wife's roots? Bad karma. Jasper waved him off. It's just banter. That night at home, Amina served cassava soup seasoned with coconut and lime. Practice your French phrases, she teased, handing him fresh flashcards. I marked tones in green. Her earnest smile twisted Jasper's gut. He mumbled gratitude, pocketed the cards, and told her again there were no spouses allowed, a little white lie to spare her embarrassment, he reasoned, ignoring the hollow in his chest. The Beaumont Gala sparkled like a constellation inside Victoria Island's Ocean View Pavilion, crystal chandeliers, live jazz, waves crashing rhythmically beyond floor-to-ceiling windows. Jasper arrived alone, tux pressed to knife-edge perfection, hair slick as glass. Colette met him by the champagne tower, sequin gown clinging like molten silver. Look at you, mon beau chevalier, she purred, hooking her arm through his. Flashbulbs popped, Jasper leaned closer, inhaling her jasmine perfume, basking in envying stares. They floated from cluster to cluster, art dealers, oil heirs, European diplomats. Jasper peppered conversations with borrowed French idioms, mentioning my years at the Sorbonne, a semester-long exchange he'd barely passed. Colette laughed at all the right moments, touching his arm, encouraging the charade. When Colette excused herself to powder her nose, Jasper stared at the moonlit surf and imagined tomorrow's headlines. Thornton tipped for directorship. Nothing, he told himself, could spoil this evening. Dessert, cocoa-dusted millefeuille, arrived. Jasper, buzzed on champagne, regaled a semicircle of executives with his African wife who mixes up RS and LS. She still says village like we're age, he chuckled, voice slipping into mock East African cadence. Imagine her ordering at a French bistro, crole broly, please. Colette, returned from the restroom, spat her laughter into a napkin. Mr. Blake strolled past, eyebrow raised. Jasper noticed but kept performing. The group roared. Under the table, Colette's hand squeezed his knee, validation became a drug he couldn't refuse. The band eased into a softer number. Candle flames shivered. Then the maitre d' tapped the mic. Mesdames et messieurs, our final guests have arrived. Kindly make way. Conversation froze. Doors parted. A woman stepped into the hall, skin glowing sable gold against a sapphire gown that swept the marble like liquid midnight. Diamond teardrops glittered at her ears, posture regal as monument. She moved with quiet command, chin lifted, eyes bright with unspoken knowledge. Jasper's breath snagged. The jawline, the shape of those eyes, impossibly, it was Amina. Yet everything about her radiated power he had never noticed, sleek coif instead of humble headscarf, shoulders back, confidence crackling like static. A hush rippled. Phones raised. Jasper felt the gaze of 100 guests pivot from queenly newcomer to the man who had just finished ridiculing a village auntie. Colette's hand slipped from his knee. Amina crossed the floor with measured grace, greeting dignitaries in flawless French. Enchanté, Monsieur Dubois. Merci d'avoir soutenu notre projet. Jasper watched her tongue curl around Parisian R's he had struggled to learn. She did not look his way. Instead she allowed the maitre d' to guide her, not to general seating, but to the velvet-roped VIP enclave near the stage. Murmurs buzzed. Who is she? Royalty? Supermodel? One man whispered, that's Jasper's wife, isn't it? Another replied, impossible, he said she was shy, provincial. Jasper stood rooted in syrupy dread. Colette edged a step away. You told me she left the sentence dangling, eyes slicing him with accusation. Fard appeared behind Jasper, whispering, told you about karma, bro. Jasper's palms slickened. Every conversation cluster seemed to angle so faces could steal a glance at him, then at Amina, then back again, amused, judgmental. Jasper gulped champagne, stomach churning. The band ceased. A spotlight bloomed across the stage. Mr. Blake, handsome in a charcoal tailcoat, addressed the crowd. Tonight, Beaumont unveils our Rwanda-Kenya partnership, empowering women entrepreneurs across East Africa. Our visionary architect joins us now. He turned, extending an arm. Madam Amina Ismaila. Applause thundered. Jasper swayed. Amina ascended the steps, sapphire silk rippling, and began, in crisp Parisian French, then elegant English, detailing microfinance models, ethical supply chains, artisan cooperatives. She spoke with passion, intellect, humor. She quoted Rumi and Chimamanda, invoked data, charmed hearts. Jasper barely heard. His world shrank to a single truth: his wife was not just eloquent, she was an international power player, and he had mocked her before the very people courting her investment. While Amina fielded a standing ovation, colleagues swiveled. One whispered, didn't Jasper say his wife couldn't handle fancy events? Another, he also said she mumbled. Snickers spread. Colette's face flushed crimson, she set her champagne down and drifted toward the restroom, abandoning him mid-spotlight. Mr. Blake descended, shook Jasper's limp hand. You must be proud, he said, tone neutral but eyes glinting. We'll talk Monday, about your presentation. Jasper read the subtext, his promotion review had sprouted fangs. Rewind 2 years. Jasper, then a regional sales manager, met Amina at a Lagos bookstore. She'd just arrived from Mombasa for grad studies, asking a clerk, softly, shyly, where to find Yoruba folktales translated into English. Jasper helped, attracted to her earnestness, her musical voice. Their 6-month courtship was equal parts laughter and cultural discovery. During a slow walk along Tarkwa Bay, she confessed her family's wealth. Her late father had built schools across East Africa, her brother Ismaila ran a venture capital firm in Nairobi. Jasper waved it off. Love, he said, had no currency. Secretly he feared being overshadowed. So Amina tucked connections away, adopting modest clothes, cooking comfort dishes, letting Jasper shine in public while she shone only for him. A test, she later told Ismaila. If he loves roots, not fruit. Ismaila warned, many men love humble masks but fear crowns. Amina smiled sadly. Then better to know. After the speech, Jasper cornered her in a moonlit balcony alcove. "You lied," he hissed. Amina answered, voice calm, accent unhidden, "No, I concealed." "You never asked." "You humiliated me." "No," she corrected, folding her shawl, "you humiliated yourself. You decided my accent measured my worth." He grabbed her wrist, she slipped free with practiced ease. "We'll discuss at home," he pleaded. "I was drunk." "I didn't mean." Amina's steady gaze pinned him. "Tell me, Jasper, if tonight I were still in my cotton dress, with my village cadence, would you introduce me as your wife, or your joke?" His silence was answer enough. Inside the VIP lounge, she drafted a terse email. "Jasper Thornton is to be excluded from all discussions concerning our East Africa initiative until further notice." She copied Mr. Blake. Then she returned to Jasper, pressing a folded card into his palm. "Separation papers, drafted weeks ago, signed tonight." "I wanted to see how you'd treat someone without armor," she said softly. "Now I know." He unfolded it, face blanching, words swimming under ballroom lights. A deep voice, "Problem, sister?" Ismaila stepped forward, tailored midnight suit, eyes like tempered steel. He shook Jasper's trembling hand. "We finally meet." Jasper stammered, I've heard much about your work." "I'm sure." Ismaila's smile never reached his eyes. "Let's discuss Beaumont's portfolio Monday. I'll be recommending local liaisons who honor our culture." The implication cracked like a whip. Outside, chauffeurs lined up beneath frangipani trees. Amina's car pulled forward. Jasper reached for her door. "Don't do this. We can fix." She settled into the leather seat, gaze brimming with regal sorrow. Love cannot grow where respect has died. The door eased shut, taillights dissolved into night. Jasper stood among drifting petals, promotion dreams scattering like confetti no one bothered to sweep. Monday morning the office hummed with gossip. A link circulated, Africa Inside TV, exclusive, Amina Ismaila to head $200 million Women's Fund. Beneath it, a candid photo captured Jasper mid-mocking gesture from Gala night. Context ambiguous, yet damaging. Mr. Blake summoned him. "Your presentation is postponed. We must reevaluate." Jasper left the office numb, passing Colette who stared at her shoes. Within a week Jasper's email privileges shrank, high-profile meetings excluded him. Colleagues who once huddled around his jokes now avoided eye contact. Colette transferred to Paris HQ, citing hostile optics. Jasper ate lunch alone, scrolling headlines of Amina's rise. On payday he discovered a demotion notice, senior brand liaison, 3 tiers below his former rank. He slammed the notice on Farid's desk. "This is exile." Farid sighed. "You exiled yourself, brother." Night after night Jasper sat in his high-rise apartment where Amina's laughter once echoed through cooking aromas. Now silence reigned. He replayed the gala, the cruel cackle, the gasp when doors opened. Each memory stabbed like shrapnel. He poured whiskey, scrolled old texts from Amina, "Proud of you. Don't forget lunch, health matters." He'd answered with thumbs-up emojis, too busy to call. He opened a blank email, typed, "I'm sorry." Deleted, typed again, "I was afraid of losing face, so I lost you." But fear of seeing message read without response made him close the laptop. Tears finally came, silent as confession. While Jasper spiraled, Amina flourished. Global magazines hailed her women-led cocoa cooperatives. She toured Kigali, Nairobi, Accra, Lagos, signing MOUs, visiting schools her father founded. Viral clips showed her switching between Swahili, French, Yoruba, English, a symphony of belonging. At a summit in Dakar, she told reporters, "Roots feed wings. Dignity is the water." Comment sections exploded with heart emojis and queen hashtags. Jasper read every article, self-inflicted torment. 6 months post-Gala, Amina sat across from famed journalist Amina Hassan on Global Voices Tonight. Candle-lit set, soft strings underscoring intimacy. Why keep your identity hidden? Hassan asked. Amina smiled gently. Sometimes you dress plain to see who loves your skin, not your silk. What did you learn? That masks invite mockery, Amina said, eyes kind yet unyielding. But character unmasks everyone else. Any message to women watching? Yes, your accent holds stories kings haven't heard. Speak. The right hearts will lean in. Twitter melted. Friday evening, Jasper sat in the company lounge, not invited to the board dinner upstairs, eyes fixed on the wall-mounted TV airing Amina's interview replay. Colleagues watched too, throwing glances his way. On screen, Amina concluded, I carry no bitterness, only lessons. Grace is a language that needs no translation. Applause filled the studio. Back in the lounge, silence fell. Jasper's throat tightened around unshed apologies. His phone buzzed, demotion final, salary halved. He accepted the notification with a hollow tap. The camera cut to Amina walking off stage, sapphire gown flowing like the night she reclaimed her crown. Jasper whispered, unseen, I remember the sound of your voice now. But the screen had already faded to black, leaving only his reflection, a man who once mocked a melody he never bothered to learn, and lost the symphony of a lifetime. The end.